Good about SMVS. This is Nigeria News Center. We're looking at happiness in Nigeria and globally. Today we are looking at the happiness in Delta and talking about the crisis rocking Delta State, particularly Okwama community, as a result of the killing of 16 soldiers. We understand that there is a communal clash between two communities, and the military, in an attempt to go for peace mission, were ambushed, and unfortunately, we saw the killing of 12 soldiers. Nigerians from all walks of life have condemned the killing, including a popular legal practitioner. I'm talking about Falana, who equally called on Nigerian government and military not to go on reprisal. Then Mr. Uzo, surprisingly, look as if we are seeing a repeat of Udi and Zakibian massacre, genocide. Because even if the military is denying that they didn't go for a reprisal attack, videos making the round, pictures making the round indicates that the community have been completely burned down. Is it the way to go?
Actually, it is not a good one. It is a very bad story to hear such thing that army is going for a reprisal attack. It is not a good news. In fact, it is a sign of a bad, uh, I can say, a bad government because all these issues are some issues that are supposed to handled in a manner that everybody will feel a sense of a citizenship or have the sense of being a citizen of Nigeria. In this particular matter now, army their duty is not for going reprisal attack to the citizens of Nigeria. This is where the government failed woefully because the government should protect the citizens. Now, the president himself is now calling the army chief to go and fish out all the culprits that killed the Nigerian army without even going into details to find out what exactly the Nigerian army has already done in that particular village or what they did in that village. So these are some of the things the government should look into very well. Try to ascertain the activities of army in that particular village. If army has carried out their activities according to the law, according to the constitution of the country, because they have to do every possible means to uphold the constitution of the country and to make sure that every citizen respects the constitution of the country. But if things happening in this way, whereby there are some certain people, especially the Nigerian army, they believe and feel that the constitution does not concern them. That
Okay, let me come in here because we understand that the governor of Delta State, Sherry Oborwari, visited the troubled community. He was conducted around the community by the military personnel on ground. We understand that the military have equally barricaded the access to the community with armored personnel carrier. But surprisingly, press were banned from having access to the community. And people have alleged that it's maybe perhaps because the military don't want the world to know the level of damage they have done to the community.
they are actually exactly that is what it is, because I cannot understand or imagine the reason why they should bar the press to to cover an event of what is really going on, because in this type of situation or in this case, the press has the in fact this is their legal obligation. In fact they has the responsibility to cover such events so that people will know exactly what is going on. But in a situation whereby they bar them or stop them of recording or covering such event, means there is something they are hiding from the citizens or they don't want people to know about.
Now, let me bring in another angle. We understand that the convener of revolution now, I'm talking about the publisher of Sahara Reporters, the president of Omole Shore, who was a presidential candidate in the 2023 presidential election, have called on the military that if they commit war crime, they should be ready to face the action of committing war crime.
Actually, he may be calling whatever thing he wants to call, but in Nigeria here, nothing will happen because Nigeria is governed or has been ruled by the cabals, and the army feels that they are, as in what concerns a constitution does not, as in they have nothing to do with the constitution. They are doing on their own. They understand, so they do whatever thing they like, and the government back them up. Okay, see, in the situation whereby army enter in a village in Imo State. Okay, let me quote precisely in a human bar, not precisely, where unknown gunmen killed a soldier, and the military went there, burned the whole villages, burned the whole shops, killed a lot of people, and so many people were missing, and the government supported it. When such things are happening like this, the citizens are not secured any longer. So army feels that they can do anything and go away with it. So when Showore is calling for war crime, I'm telling you, though he has the right to call, but for such thing to happen will be a problem. As in, it won't happen. Nothing will be like a war crime here. Who will charge them to war crime? Who will charge
Um,
them against war crime?
I think the reason he's saying it may not be unconnected with agitation after the massacre that happened in Udi. Don't forget that as at the time, Nigerians were calling on international bodies to be settled on Nigeria, asking that Obasanjo should be prosecuted for war crime over the Udi massacre. And so some persons have speculated that because of what transpired in Udi is an Ijaw community, is in the south side, that is the reason an Obasanjo favored an Ijaw man with the position of vice president. And if that is the case, perhaps that's the reason the people did not push further for war crime against the former president. And that if this is allowed to continue, that there's every possibility that people start calling for war crime. If war crime is perpetrated, that they should be dragged to international criminal court of justice.
It's very, very unfortunate that in Nigeria here there is nothing like a rule of law, and there is nothing like justice, and there is nothing like a constitution in this country. And that is why so many things are going bad in this. There are so many errors in different ways. Concerning Udi massacre, you know that this in Nigeria, the leaders like to rule as a military man, nothing like democracy here. So they would like to suppress the people, make sure that everybody obeys their instructions and orders without even looking at the constitution if their actions are in line with the constitution or not. So they are not looking at that, and they believe that the laws is in their hand. They make law, they implement it, they execute it. So whatsoever thing they believe that they can do, they can still find a way of backing. So the government has a way of backing it up, and they will cover it up, and they claim that they are right, and nothing will happen. Going to international criminal courts or whatsoever, any international body to challenge the government, my brother, they don't have the local stand to do that. They don't have the local stand, and the government knows their capacity and what they can do. So
Now
that
let
is
me
why.
okay. Now let me bring the angle of people who perhaps may be affected by the military invasion, because we are looking at collective punishment here. Falana have said it all. He said that if the military continue the invasion or invade the community as a war or reprisal attack, that it will amount to collective punishment. And collective punishment is a serious crime, both internationally and locally. Now, what will be your advice to the locals who may be facing hardship, trauma as a result of military invasion of their community?
Yeah, actually, the villagers now will be facing a lot of trauma based on the intimidation by the government and intimidation by the army. Most of them may not have a place to go or a place to live, as I'm talking to you at the moment now. So in fact, it will be so difficult for them. But what I can tell them is, let them take the bull by the horn, because this is how it has been happening in this country. Nobody cares for the citizens. They take charge of themselves and take care of themselves, and they find their way out of any problem. So in this matter now, the government is in the side of the army without even try to blame army in their wrongdoings. Rather, they were even trying to fish out more villagers and pound on them. So the villagers now have to find a way out in this matter, especially staying away from that particular village. If they have relatives somewhere, I think they need to move down to that area until when this matter calm down. But where it can get worse is before they will come back to their village, the village may have been burned down by the army. And so the situation is very, very critical now.
Okay, though the military have denied the invasion of the community, and people are calling on the government, particularly the president, who is the president and the commander of the armed forces, to ask the military to halt further invasion and destruction of the community. Now, is this something you want to speak on?
Definitely, the government may be in Abuja calling whatever thing, or to stop or to halt or whatsoever thing they can, try to stop what is going on. They will be in Abuja calling it, but in down to that village, they are not there to implement what they are calling from Abuja. I hope you understand, because if you go to that villages as I'm talking to you now, there is still a lot of killings going on there. Definitely it must be. And the army, the army, the station in different locations there are against the villagers or against the community that killed their men. So in this matter now, you can see that the villagers, they are on their own.
Now, I wanted to bring in the angle of the allegation that the military is barring the press access to the troubled community. Now, the question is, how can the world know the level of damage perpetrated by the military? Though it's been alleged, military is denying their involvement, but there are videos making around, pictures making around, depicting the pictures and videos of what is transpiring in that community.
um Barring the press to cover the events, it is wrong in the first place. It is wrong. But Nigerian government has been doing this. This is not their first time, not their second time. Even in some court cases here, they will bar the press to enter or to cover the event, and they have been doing it and go away with it. Nothing happens. So, and they have taken it as this is something they can do, so that they can be able to cook a story by themselves and present to the public. Because they believe that if the press cover the event, the press can be able to give the accurate information of what really happens, or the actual information. But when a press did not cover an event, then the government can now be able to formulate or any story they like and tell the people. And the people may not have any other option than to believe it, because that is the only information they are getting. So when they allow press, there should be freedom of press in Nigeria. I believe it is in the constitution. So, but I'm surprised that Nigerian government are doing all these things and they will go away with it. Nobody challenge them, nothing. It's
I
very
think
bad.
I think this is a good place to let it go. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Meanwhile, I think what is happening is a very big issue for Nigerians, because we understand that as Nigerians we have right to liberty. We understand that it behoves on the government to protect lives and property. We understand that it is wrong to kill the military. So we believe that two wrongs does not make a right. We condemn the killing of the soldiers, just as we condemn the military invasion of the community. Because I think what behoves on the government to do at this point is to ensure that they do an independent investigation to unravel what actually transpired. And when anyone is found guilty, the person should face the wrath of the law. And we believe that not even the military, no one should be above the law. If actually there is genocide being committed, as we are hearing that press is being barred from access to the village, I think the government must rise to the occasion and halt further hostility against the community to avoid collective punishment as being alleged in some quarters. Thank you very much.